Okay, minasan, today we're gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 45. This is a really interesting episode because it actually set up what is gonna happen during the movie of Kamen Rider Geats 4S and the Black Fox itself. And personally, I am not very happy with how they actually set up episode 45 to link directly into the movie itself. Like even the how the episode actually ended is kind of like telling us that is how the movie is gonna start also. Okay, so that is something that I'm not very happy about because me, who is not living in Japan, is not actually able to fully enjoy the story in the chronological order when we actually want to watch it. I'm gonna watch episode 45 until the end of Gears, and then I'm gonna start watching Gochat before I actually watch 4S and the Black Fox itself. So by the time that movie came out, like Gears is no longer gonna be the talk of the street already. So that is something that I don't not very happy about. But then again, that is life. Okay, like we can't have everything that we want. And let us talk about what actually happened in this episode because the ending is really interesting, but we're gonna save that for later. Let us start off with Jito. Jito is actually the one who actually invited all the VIP that want to see bad ending to the war itself, and we actually get to see Mero and Mera, both the girl and the boy that is gonna appear in the movie itself, appears in this episode due to that. I will believe that is the reason why they are being introduced in this episode, and it actually makes it into a very smooth way to introduce them into the story. It doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel like they just came out of nowhere, something like that, but this is all part of Jito's plan to get rid of Ukyo S itself. Okay, so that is really interesting. But moving forward, we got Kamen Rider Dapan back in action again. So yeah, I don't know if you guys actually noticed or not, but throughout the episode, no one called Dapan by his name. Everyone just called Dapan. Like, what is his name? Do you even remember? Like, if you don't go and Google research him right now, can you remember his name? Me personally, I do not remember his name at all, but then again, his name is not that important. And for the reason why he's able to return, one thing we need to remember is that he is eliminated. He did not get destroyed. He got he got eliminated due to the DGP rule itself. So his ID code is actually still together with the DGP management itself, and that will also explain how does the Ball Rider and the Bat Rider get their ID code back if Buffa already destroyed so many different Kamen Rider ID code itself. Okay, because those people are not actually involved in the previous DGP game, so Buffa is not actually able to destroy their ID code, and that is why the DGP still holds their ID code. And we know Jito, Beroba, and Kikera is all working together, so we know that the ID code that was given, like they are able to access a couple of ID codes, something like that. Okay, so that is really interesting. But another thing that I want to talk about is Beroba. Okay, so when we last saw Beroba in the previous episode, she looks very like angry, very like distorted or something like that. And in this episode, when she is actually walking towards the school to find Dapan itself, we can actually see that she's like swinging around. She doesn't look very stable, and I felt like this is intentional because it is actually kind of like telling us that Beroba is gonna lose control. Beroba is gonna go off the rail. Okay, she's already off the rail, but like right now she's like off another rail again. So that is really interesting. Next episode, the title of the episode is gonna be Farewell Buffa, Farewell Michi. So we are not sure like how the story is gonna go because it is almost telling us that hey, we are not actually gonna get Buffa final form. Buffa final form is not gonna come in the series itself. It might actually come further down the line, maybe kind of like an after movie thought, something like that. But then again, I have a feeling the title of the next episode is a little bit misleading, because we know that Michi, this is not the first time Michi actually died in the series already. Like, he died, he came back to life, he died and he came back to life, something like that. So we might actually get to see that Buffa power got improved or increased upon when he died again, something like that. And we know that Usumori and S is still alive, and they might be able to help Buffa to kind of increase his power. We do not know how things are gonna go, but next episode preview, I don't think we actually get to see as in any of the next episode preview, but we do actually get to see one thing that is really interesting, and that is Sumori together with Jito. But right now she is wearing all black rather than black and white. She is wearing all black. So why is she wearing all black? Maybe to mourn the death of someone. Maybe it is just like how like the movie ending actually causes her to become like all black, wearing all black dresses, something like that, and she kind of loses her conscience, something like that. We are not sure, okay? We are not sure, but all of these are just kind of like speculation on what could actually be happening, okay? So this is really interesting. Another thing that I really want to talk about right now is obviously one thing that everyone wants to talk about, and that is Tycoon versus Geats itself, okay? So it is a really interesting fight, and I would say Tycoon actually make up his weakness of Bujin sword, which is, if you notice, when he uses Bujin sword, he loses his ninja speed. So how does he actually make up to it is by using the boost rise buckle itself, okay? So maybe there is also a possibility that he can actually uses the boost he can actually use ninja rise buckle together with the Bujin sword rise buckle. I think that is gonna help him to become fast and is able to increase his damage dealt by a lot, okay? Because when he used boost, he got his speed back, but it doesn't seem like it is enough for him to take down Ukyo S itself, because he might seems like he managed to defeat S by the end of this episode, but S just decided to stop fighting, okay? Like, if S really want to fight, I believe he can defeat Tycoon very easily. But obviously, like, Tycoon is also quite strong in the series itself. Another thing that I really love about this episode choreography is how does Tycoon actually fight using his cap itself. If you notice, at the beginning of the fight, he uses the cap to kind of like cover his sword so that S is not able to see where is his strike is gonna come from. So all this while, I have never been a fan of caps on Kamen Rider itself. If you give me a little bit of scarf, that is okay, but caps on Kamen Rider, I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. But after seeing how Tycoon utilized his cap as his weapon, as a concealing tool, something like that, I have to say that is how I love it, okay? That is how you make me fall in love with Rider with caps itself, because the cap is not just there to look cool, but it is there for a practical reason. The Rider actually use it in their combat, in their actions, something like that. So that is really interesting, okay? But lastly, I want to talk about a big topic that I felt like we really need to discuss is why the hell did S turn white? Like, why did he turn white? Because I felt like this is something that a lot of people is just gonna, oh, okay, so now S is white and Sumori is back to normal once again, and no one is gonna think too much about it. But I am the one that is gonna think too much about it, okay? So let us go through the facts again so that we can be on the same page and make sure that I have the facts correct. If I have the facts wrong, correct me in the comment section below. Let me know your theory whatsoever. But let us go through the facts, okay? So firstly, as in Sumori actually asked Kewa, hey, can you believe again that we are able to save your sister and the world is gonna be good, something like that. And Kewa actually asked S, like, if you are the god of creation, give me something to believe in itself. And Sumori actually says that, and Sumori started running toward S, and she says that, hey, we are thinking of the same thing. And then out of nowhere, S turns white and Sumori went back to normal again. So I felt like all of this thing is telling us, okay, theory number one, why does S turn white is because S actually absorbed the power of Sumori. Like S absorbed the power of wish and the creation from Sumori, and that is why she, like, Sumori creation power, all the abundance of creation power was taken away from her and being thrown into the body of Ukyo S itself. And maybe that is the reason why Sumori went back to normal and S went into kind of like a white hair, blue eye type of air, something like that. Okay, so that is really interesting. But theory number two that I have is maybe S, because one thing Keiwa said, if you are the god of creation, give me something to believe in. So S actually wishes that Sumori went back to normal. She turned back to who she is, and in doing that, he actually became closer as a god of creation itself, and that is why his hair actually became white after that wish itself, something like that. Okay, so but this theory has a little bit of flaws in it, because we actually see like the first glow before S reconstruct the wall, we actually get to see the red color and the red green color actually shoot up to the sky, something like that. And that is when Ukyo S actually becomes white and Sumori become normal again. So maybe K1 and S is the one that actually wish that, hey, I want to see Sumori back to normal once again. And maybe she regretted the fact that he causes Sumori to become like who she is right now, because like she never really wanted to hurt Sumori, something like that. You know, at the end of the day, Keiwa is still a soft-hearted boy, and he doesn't want to hurt her, something like that. So maybe like as one of the thing that Keiwa can seize immediately that S has the power of creation is by like it's kind of like, hey bro, if you are real, prove it to me. And Keiwa first thought is like, I want you to change Sumori back to normal again. So and that is when the power of creation inside S actually got activated and tapping onto the wish of Keiwa that he wanted to see Sumori back to normal, that both of them are being accessed, they are both of their wish are being accessed to kind of like turn everything back to normal. And in doing so, like I said, make him closer to God of creation. And the reason why I believe like this theory is more plausible is because after that, after S become all white, something like that, he actually henshin into Geats 9 and he started to recreate the world. And one thing he tell Keiwa is like, believe in the world where everyone is happy. So he is actually counting on the faith of Keiwa, the faith of Tycoon, where he can actually wish that everyone is happy to restore the world to where it is in the past, something like that. So maybe next episode we are gonna see something really interesting. Maybe like we are not sure what is gonna happen, but when that actually happened, like when I believe when that wish actually started, that is when we are gonna cut into the movie itself. So that is something that I cannot really give my theory on and all those stuff, but we actually get to see 4S. So maybe like how the story is gonna go is like, because S is not able to contain his power of creation, so he actually kind of split into 4 different S because of that. Like all of his personality is actually split apart, and we actually saw this in Sumori, like how like when she was being forced to become a goddess of creation, like she actually loses some part of her conscience, something like that. So maybe something similar is happening to Ukyo S, but rather than losing all those different part of S, we actually see S being split into multiple parts of himself. Like we get to see power S, wisdom S, luck S, and also the last S I would assume to be the power of creation S, something like that. Okay, or maybe the faith filled and something like that. So we are not sure how the story is gonna go, but that is the fun of Kamen Rider. Okay, so Geats is ending, Go Chat is coming. Let me know in the comment section below, are you enjoying this? And hey man, like if you haven't subscribed and if you have been watching me for almost a year, what are you doing, man? Hit that subscribe button and I'm gonna be a very happy man. Okay, so the word for today is gonna be subscribe. Okay, subscribe is the word. Comment it in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the video, and most importantly, like I said, if you haven't hit that red button, hit it, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Goodbye.